I told the Papa John's guy to be here in an hour. It took an hour and a half. That's why this is sponsored by Acid Super Dry. Hey, drink it dry. Theme song. Hey, welcome to the hungriest podcast and on the planet. I'm opening up this. Oh, Jesus, I can't even do this. I need a man. I need a man with strong man hands. Does anybody have strong man hands?
Adult.
Oh my God! See, I loosened it for him.
It's like a vice. It's like a vice grip.
That's why he's the guitarist and I'm just the wispy singer. Yep,
there it is.
There it is. Here you go, Aki. So, Heidi got us this ginormo 2-liter crazy can of Asahi Super Dry from Mitsuwa in Chicago, and so we had to break this open and enjoy some super duper dry. and yeah, what do you
look at the expiry? Look at the date.
Oh, whatever. It expired last year. Who cares?
What does expire really mean?
Yeah, what does beer expire? No.
It's all arbitrary.
It's got alcohol in it.
I mean, what
do they know?
And it's the FDA in Japan, so it's really the JFDA. It's the JFUD. So anyway, hey, our new CD is out, guys. It's out. It's first podcast since we released it.
I just wanted to read this, but
okay, but that works too.
Cheers.
All right.
All
right. So, whatever. Still tastes like beer.
Still tastes like March of 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
the beer for all seasons, including several years after. Those are still seasons.
Oh
Including
yeah,
several seasons after.
several seasons.
As advertised.
So right. It's pretty standard Pilsner. So
March.
So we ordered this pizza before the podcast, and we were assured by Papa John himself over the phone that it would be here in an hour. And guess what? It was not here in an hour. It was here in an hour and a half. And so we are ravenously hungry.
That's why he resigned.
Yeah, par for the course for that guy.
Yeah, right. We said we the people demand action on Papa John, and we called up the shareholders and we said, "Yo, Papa's gotta go." And so they retroactively 3 months ago, just they knew it was coming.
That's
so
how much influence lawyers are trying to wield.
That's right. So anyway, that's why we got a pizza cast. This pizza cast is sponsored by Pizza Hut because they stay on time apparently. Or who should we sponsor it by instead of Pizza Hut?
I like Jet's Pizza, Detroit style.
Jet's Pizza, Detroit style.
Mm-hmm. What is a Detroit style pizza?
You talk
It's
about
actually a square pizza.
What?
And the edges have caramelized cheese and butter. And actually, Jet's is a chain, but it's really good. We got a location after many years finally in Middleton. If you look on Google Maps reviews, it's like 4.7, 4.8, and it has like 78 reviews. It's really good.
The wings are really good too. They're spicy.
Aki, I'm going to ask you a difficult question because Aki, many of you know that Aki is a pizza man.
Pizza's my favorite food.
Aki, what is the best pizza you've ever had in your life?
Oh my god. That's very challenging. That's really hard. I apologize. I can't give you a best, but I can say I can talk about probably one of my favorites in memory.
Yeah.
I really liked. I like pizza in all form, Neapolitan, Chicago, New York style, etc. I went to Lou Malnati's in greater Chicago area. The Chicago styles, it's like the deep dish, but you can pay like a couple dollars more, and you always should do this to get the butter crust. And you get this flaky butter crust.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And they make their own kind of in-house sausage and whatnot. It's delicious. So
Flaky, buttery, biscuity crust. Flaky biscuity butter. You know the video I'm talking about? The old guy who can't say flaky, buttery, biscuity thing? You can't say the line.
I've never seen. Oh, the commercial.
It's the two old people sitting at the table, and the guy can't get his line right. The flaky, buttery, crispy. No, I can't even do it.
I really like that one. I know it's funny, and we had it when we played in Carbondale recently, but I really love Quattros too because it's kind of like Jets. It has that caramelized edge, and it's a very unique pizza. So Quattros and Carbondale I really like too. Yeah, it's very hard to choose. It's very hard to choose one, but honestly, whether it's Papa John's or Pizza Hut or some independent place or whatnot, I love pizza in pretty much all forms. I think like cracker crust pizza or pizza with mushrooms or anchovies is the only pizza I don't like.
All right.
And I'm going to get more slices while you guys talk.
So, much like there are all different types of pizza, there's all different types of Lords of the Trident albums. Which one's your favorite? Oh, time's up. It's Shadows from the Past. Because that's the album that just came out. And just like pizza fresh from the oven, the freshest is always the best, obviously. You know? You don't want that 3-year-old pizza that's been sitting under your couch called Frostburn. Do you want to get the moldy Death or Sandwich out of the back crevice of your cushions? No, you don't want that. You want the freshest, nicest pizza. Boom, right out of the oven. Right out of the oven.
Get that moldy shit out of here.
You want the best pizza that Lords of the Trident has to offer. So go, do us a favor. Go to Lords of the Trident.
Old? I'm going to get something to eat.
So go to Lords of the Trident.
Frostburn.com
and pick yourself up a physical copy. You know, okay, this has been weird. We've had a lot of good reviews of Shadows from the Past. We've had 2 reviews that have been weird, wacky, like wrong reviews. I don't really say a review is wrong, but like when they get something factually incorrect, it's just sort of like, no, you're just wrong. So the reviews so far have been really good. I think we're averaging like a 7.7 out of all the reviews that we've gotten so far, which is pretty good. I've heard this multiple times, and I don't know where this is coming from. But I've heard multiple times like, yeah, man, I don't think they're making a CD for sale or vinyl or everything. I think it's just a digital release. So, you're going to have to just go online and get it. It's like, dude, what? No. What do you think the Kickstarter was for? Come on. So anyway.
Anyone home, McFly?
Yes. So we did actually release an Honest to God physical CD. A lot of you already have it. And we have a Honest to God vinyl coming out. Brent, you want to grab a couple copies right down there?
Oh, sure, if you want pizza grease all over them.
Yeah, those are just test copies, so it's fine. Fresh.
Adds extra base.
Fresh pies from the oven. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our test prints of Shadows from the Past. Obviously, the actual ones will be blood red vinyl instead of black. These are just test prints.
Instead of black red vinyl?
Instead of black red vinyl. Funny story. We're on our second test printing. The first test print was fine, except they accidentally printed one side at 45 and one side at 33 1/3 for side A and B. And the rest of the album was at 45. So that didn't exactly work. The next test pressing, they got at 45, and it was good on all sides, except there was a repeatable skip on the first song, Death Dealer. And also, we're having some weird audio issues with Reaper's Hourglass on the vinyl only. So that's our vinyl update. We're shipping these test presses back to the mastering agent so he can have a listen, try to fix the issues, and then we should have these vinyls out soon. I think it's reasonable to say that we'll probably have the vinyls by like the end of October. So it'll be a spooky vinyl coming to you very soon. Hey guys, the Spookcast is coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun one.
I'm so excited for the Spooky Cast.
Are you going to buy dry ice again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I might even buy liquid nitrogen, and we might
chicken thing.
Freeze and break shit?
We might freeze and break shit. If my day keeps going this way, I just might break something on the Spooky Cast.
Talking about Spooky Cast, aren't we playing a show around Halloween?
That's a great transition there,
yeah.
Aki. So we just got, and we haven't announced this yet. So those of you seeing the TRIDENTcast fresh off of the YouTubes online on Patreon, we got asked to play a Gwar pre-party for the Gwar show on October 26th here in Madison. So we're going to be playing an early special extended set from about 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. ish, somewhere around there. Maybe 4:30 to 6. Right before the Guar show. It's Hatebreed, Guar, Miss May I, and another King something, Kingfisher, Kingslayer, King Crimson,
Fisher King Winery,
King's X, Kings. It's one of those bands.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
So we're playing the High Noon. It's going to be an early show. As far as I know, it's free, so you should all come out and see that, the Guar show. And that'll be
early and free.
I know.
Ay caramba.
It'll be
these deals are hot.
It'll be the spookiest pre-Guar show you've ever seen. We're gonna make it extra spooky for everybody. We're gonna get all the black lights going.
Didn't we open for Guar once? No. Guar once.
We got they gave us some free tickets to go see Guar if we helped promote the show on our Facebook.
Yeah, and Sarah Palin had an abortion.
Yeah.
I remember that much.
That was a good time. It was a good show.
Yeah.
When Sarah Palin had an abortion. Mm-hmm. So guys, we did Mad with Power, our second year.
You mainly did Mad with Power. I just showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just played
How's
bass.
you, Ty?
Well, you guys, I want you to talk about your Mad with Power experience while I scarf down this pizza. I'll start at the beginning of the night. The doors open. Ravenous crowds of sweaty, hungry metalheads come in, throwing quarters at machines, saying, "Where's Mortal Kombat? I'll kill a man for Mortal Kombat." Grabbing their Kickstarter prizes, like so many places of delicious pizza, shoving them into their mouths, maybe. So then, okay, fill in from there.
Subatomic started.
Yep, that's accurate. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And then my buddies in Stagecoach played.
They're always a pleasure.
Who had happened next? I think next was Zephaniah.
Yeah.
They exceeded the sonic barrier a few times.
I'd never seen them before, so that was a treat.
Yeah, what'd you think of them?
To witness the sheer speed that they had and Corey coming
Mm-hmm.
The sheer technicality. The drummer's really good.
in. Yeah.
I feel like we should not forget to talk about the bass's hair and beard. It's pretty remarkable.
He does have pretty beautiful hair. It's
Yeah.
like very thick and long and
We
flowing.
talked about it in the past.
Yeah.
That's all.
So
I missed all that.
They were very fun to watch.
Yeah. They have a good stage show too. I mean, they do that thing where they do like a collective hug and the guitarists play each other's guitars.
Yeah, like the one guy who was playing, like, I think he had a yellow Ibanez? Is that
Yeah, that was Justin.
He seems very like a goofy guy, kind of joking around on stage quite a bit.
Yeah, he's an
Weird
interesting
faces.
character.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's really good guitar. He's really fast and
so the other one, the guy that we stayed
play
with. I think.
things.
We got to show you the picture. We stayed at Justin's house once, and he has a painting that his girlfriend did of him.
I'll put it up right here. There it is.
Yeah, it's
With a guitar,
It's a
right?
paint. You know, like the what's his ass lying down with like dogs covering his junk. It's a famous photo. Hugh, it might be Hefner.
There's a dog junk photo somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Hugh Hefner or whatever.
I guess I don't Google
With a strategically placed dog.
Like
Feline.
I've never.
dog.
I feel like I've never seen
It's
this.
basically that, but with a guitar and Justin.
Yeah.
Like the first thing you see when you walk into his house is a giant painting of him naked with a
I
guitar.
feel like I don't want to Google image search dog junk photo.
You should.
So okay.
I'm sure you've googled worse things.
Just another Tuesday for Shia LaBeouf.
Amen. I can neither
Hey.
confirm nor deny.
And then after them was Mega Colossus.
So when Mega Colossus played Legions of Metal this year, I was there, and we had this whole thing planned where I was going to come up during their song Sun Sword and do the high parts with the band, and they unfortunately played too long or they started too late, and they cut off their last song, which was Sun Sword. And so like I was literally at the
Wait,
front.
they cut like partway through?
No, they cut their
stopped,
set
yeah.
before they were going to start
It's like
playing.
the catchiest song.
It's the best. It's my favorite song of theirs. So,
Yeah.
So and I was like on the railing, like I jumped up on the railing, and so I was like sitting here like, oh, kind of like ready to get all the way up on the stage, and they're like, no, and I'm like,
I appreciate every band being like professional about the time, though. You know, for all you watching, like if you're not in a band, something very frustrating that can happen is, maybe have like the third or final slot of the night in a lineup of bands, and it's very frustrating if like every band before you goes way long.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating if you think you're going on at 11:30 or 12, and it's like 1:30.
And you tell your friends, you're like, yeah, we're hitting a stage at 11,
Yeah.
11:15, and then it's like 12:30.
And they show up late, and then you still haven't played yet.
Yeah.
Or
But-
like,
We've
where
been-
were we? St. Louis? That,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. We've ended up playing in plain clothes before.
Yeah.
So it was like either you change costumes or you play like an extra 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to do that at Legions, but they played Sunsword in Madison, and so I jumped up on stage, and we finally got to make it happen. That was super fun.
Yeah.
So
And then did you do some opera tie?
that was actually later. Was it?
Then
No,
Green
no.
Death.
Green
after
Death,
making
Green Death.
classes. Oh,
Green
yeah,
Death.
that's right. Green Death.
That's when I showed up.
That's right.
Except for Rockstar.
Green Death are just awesome. Like, I think they're probably the band I was most excited to see. They're not only really tight, but they sound awesome. The singer has such like strong body to his voice, and yeah, they were phenomenal. And I think one of the guitarists in like Green Death like made a really like kind gesture. Didn't Mega Classist didn't the one of the guitarists his amp like died, and
Yeah, Bill's head died.
yeah, Bill's had died, and
Right before Sunsword too.
right,
Yeah.
and then Green Death guy let him use his Marshall or whatnot, so that was really nice of him. And yeah, Green Death were just great, and I think we're all honored to be able to play with them at Des Moines at the annual Corn Festival, and like it's gonna be really awesome. We get to play right before them.
Yep. They're gonna have a corn toss. It's gonna be competitive cornhole. Lords of the Trident and Green Death is doing a CD release party on October 20th.
Brilliant.
So
Maze,
Amazing.
yeah. But they're yeah. If you haven't had a chance, Google Manufacturing Evil. I mean, they have a number of great songs, but yeah, they're just really solid.
yeah, we had a fun time playing with them for the first time in Minneapolis. Great story out of that.
St. Paul.
Oh yeah, that story.
Oh yeah, Minneapolis, St. Paul,
Yeah, Amsterdam.
the Twin Cities. And yeah, we've been fast friends ever since. And they stayed down here, and God, their guitarist
They have a
is
good time. I never followed up.
Yep, their guitarist is hilarious.
Trash guy?
Yes. The guy who Aki thinks looks like a garbage man.
The guy with the Sustainiac.
Yeah.
That's the best way I know to
Yeah,
describe
the
him.
Schecter, the Sustainiac.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't
he's
know
a
his-
guitarist, and like, you know what? Like, trash guys have paid a lot of money, and they have a very important role in society.
That's true.
Okay.
So anyway,
For the record, he actually does what I do. He plays in
teaches
like
guitar.
Yeah, he has a pile of students, and he plays in like 3 bands.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
He's like,
cool.
I'm the Madison equivalent of that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You're Madison's trash guy.
You should
Fuck
get a
yeah.
Sustainiac.
Yeah, I'm fucking failing here.
Don't forget, City of Madison, they recycle plastic bags at number 5. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
don't just throw that stuff in the trash.
Aki will tell you all about it.
Peter Steele, for Typo Negative, took off. He was a trash man for New York City.
Was he?
And he made really good money and had union benefits and the whole bit.
Yeah.
And he threw it all away to be in Typo Negative.
Well,
Yep.
you know.
Oh, trash.
I'm gonna make something of myself, Mom. More than a trash man. More than a trash man could ever be, Mom. You don't understand. You don't see my dreams. That was my one-man show about Typo Negatives.
Hey,
The
Ty,
guitarist.
did you do some opera then?
Yeah. So anyway,
Stay on target.
stay on target. So then we had a little fun thing planned. Myself and Nina from A Sound of Thunder. She saw our Ness and Dorma video, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" And so we schemed. We said, "What if we did a live opera duel at Mad with Power?" And so we did the Brindisi from La Traviata. Her and I, and Brian did the backing tracks for it in guitar, much like he did for Ness and Dorma. And I think it went over great. I came out in a tux, and and we had a little opera duel, and I hopefully should be able to get that up online soon. I've been so busy post Mad as Power with just like life and everything that I haven't even had a whole lot of chance to go through all of the video and audio and just kind of put a few things together. Unfortunately, the guitar audio from our set got blown to smithereens for Mad as Power, which is too bad. So I'm hoping that I can salvage some of the other audio from some of the other bands, but that's kind of where we're at right now with that. So we did that. Sound of Thunder played, and they were just fantastic, fabulous. I heard from a bunch of people that they were like, they'd never seen a Sound of Thunder, and that was like one of their White Whale bands where they're like, oh my god,
White Whale.
I can't believe we're seeing a Sound of Thunder in Madison. Wow, that's so cool. And so it was neat to bring them there. And then we played, and we did pretty marginal. It was pretty great,
Yeah,
C minus.
Hey, they wanted an encore.
I still remember, like, we were changing afterwards, and the Green Death guys that were there, and one of them were like, oh man, this is the best set you've done. And I remember Brett, Ty, and I, all three of us were like, we played better in Minneapolis. And he's like, no. And we're like, yeah, we played better in Minneapolis.
Not me. It was an A show for me.
Yeah.
And I did not miss a note all night.
Yep.
I think if people liked it, then what more do you want?
Well, right, yeah, and I think we're probably just being extra hard on ourselves because that's what we do.
To
You
be
said
fair,
hard
the only
on.
thing like people even noticed was the one hiccup in Figaro, but like
Which was an anomaly because we ran that in practice like 30 times,
well,
and that
that's
never
what you
happened
get
once.
for like not taking into account like ear monitors and getting all the other sounds in your ear monitors and how it's going to work with
Right.
the click and everything.
Which
so.
will hopefully be remedied very soon.
I think a funnier mistake would be if somehow the synth patches got replaced with kazoo cat patches.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
or like a
Yep. That happens all the time to bands. It's so embarrassing.
A goddamn kazoo patch.
It's
Out of
Always
nowhere.
finds its way in.
Brett goes to hit the big explosion and the cannon shot in Figaro, and all of a sudden you hear
Or what's the sound? What's that party thing that like spits that shoots out like a chameleon tongue?
Yeah.
Oh, just like a party horn, party whistle.
Or even better yet, all of a sudden, all the string patches in Figaro are replaced by cowbell patches. So, donk.
yep.
It'd be like a cowbell roll to
Yeah.
start with.
Right.
Hey, to be fair, I have played a piece that is all cowbells. Technically, they're omwaken, which are tuned cowbells, and you roll on them. So the thing exists.
Nice.
I wish you had glasses so you could be like, technically, I did
Yeah.
play all cowbell.
Technically.
So, but anyway, I think everybody had a fun time.
Yeah.
I think, speaking for me personally, like I was so exhausted, just at the end of the night that I couldn't even think straight. So if I saw you at the end of the night and you try to give me a hug or whatever, and I just like collapsed over or punched your date or whatever, I'm sorry, but man, I was I think I slept for like 14 hours the next day. I was so just completely gone because I put so much work into this thing. But that being said, it was a really great success. We had 110 people more than last year, which was awesome. We were 30 tickets away from selling out completely. And we've already announced a couple of awesome bands for next year. Judicator is coming. I've been working on them for a couple of years. The singer John and I are buddies, and we're excited to bring them in. Judicator is a band that doesn't really play live all that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't they not all live in the same city, like they're separate?
Right. Some of them live in Arizona, some of them live in Utah, and so they very rarely play live. And so it's kind of a special treat that they're playing.
Hopefully they
Mad
don't
Power.
like meet each other in person and realize they hate each other.
No, I think they have played in person together before,
Oh,
but
okay.
Their last two albums are so good. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to Great to see
I
you.
still remember the first time you guys played them for me, and I was just like, oh, this is awesome.
If you like Blind Guardian, you will like Judicator.
Oh, the singer is so good.
Yeah, John's a fantastic singer.
I don't like Blind Guardian, and I do like Judicator.
Oh, well, if you don't like
You don't
Blind
like
Guardian...
Blind Guardian?
No, my brain turns off when they start playing.
Aww.
So,
There's something like that, like a genetic defect. It's kind of like cilantro, like some
Yeah,
people
it's just
genetically
like that.
think it tastes like soap.
They
Like some
sound
people
like soap
genetically
to me.
don't like.
it sound like soap.
Yeah, they just don't like it for some reason.
You know what? I'm going to use that for any band that people generally like and that I don't. I'm going to use that phrase.
I like that.
sound
It
like
sounds
soap.
like soap.
Yeah.
You know, like, Pantera. I don't know, man. That just sounds like soap to me.
Oh,
You
that's
know.
sad.
Well, I mean, hey, I can't help
not
that I
his
have a
fault.
genetic
Yeah, he's
deformity.
genetically dispositioned to Pantera soap. What can
I
you say?
can't help
That's
that.
how I am with Blind Guardian.
Yeah.
I don't care about all the notes they play.
Yeah. So anyway, we got those guys coming.
And-
Judicator's coming. And Helium
Helium
Prime is coming too. So Jason Ashcraft, who is the guitarist, and I have been chit-chatting for years, helped them with their Patreon. Just cool guys. Like, we saw them in Legions of Metal a couple of years ago. We've hung out a few times, hung out at Prog Power and stuff, and so we would just become fast friends. And so I wanted to bring them. And they just released their new album, which is really, really good. Highly recommend checking it out. And a lot of people, so they got a new singer, and he's from Greece. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, are they going to be bringing a backup singer because their singer's in Greece and blah, blah, blah. No. Their singer's flying in from Greece to play Mad with Power.
Wow.
Yep, that's right. And guess who? And so they're currently on tour with Unleash the Archers, and weird small world coincidence, their current singer is...
Mary Zimmer,
Yep. Who is...
the former singer of my old band, Luna Mortis.
Yep. So it's like, man, the metal world in the U.S. is a very small world. Like,
Overall, yeah.
everybody kind of knows each other. So yeah, so we're going to be seeing them in October in Chicago, them and Unleash the Archers, and I'm going to sneak in some mead and some cheese curds. And they're staying here afterwards. They're coming. They were going to go to Minneapolis the next day, so it would have been perfectly on their route.
Nice.
Instead, they're going to go to Iowa City. and I said, hey man, if you don't want to stay here, that's fine. They're actually all going to take like an hour. They're going to come an hour and 15 minutes out of the way to come stay with me because
You're gonna have Unleashed the Archers come here again? God damn it!
I know, I'm
out of town.
I'm too.
Yep. It's gonna be Japanese toilets for days, baby.
I want to see them so bad.
Yeah, they're really.
I swear I'm the biggest fan of them out of all you fuckers. I've
Hey.
never seen them.
I'm a huge fan. You guys made me a big fan.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're really,
I've
really,
been for
really
years.
good.
Yeah, I believe. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Brittany is also like just incredible live. And all I've been hearing every night from everybody in the U.S. Power Metal Connection is like, "Oh my God, she never misses a note." And I can confirm.
Remember when
Absolutely
I saw
true.
her at the
Absolutely
saw
true.
the band at that grill place where we opened for them?
Yep.
And, like, she said she was sick afterwards.
And
they
she
still
hit
sound good.
every
Yeah.
single note. She's like, "Well, I don't know. I did kind of an okay job." I'm like, "No." And so,
Oh, you know what else sucks ass? Speaking of me missing them all the time,
what?
I was in Seattle for a week. They played literally the day after I left Seattle in Seattle.
Really?
Oh man.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
And I just miss them all the time.
Well, who knows? You might have a chance to play with them again sometime. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Boink!
Get my hopes up.
So, anyway. So that was Mad with Power.
Shattered by disappointment.
Yep. You might, or you might not. They might never, ever see you again. The band might crumble and no one will ever love us. So,
It's true.
So anyway, that was Mad with Power. Mad with
Roll the
Power.
dice.
Mad with Power was great. We did really well. Next year's going to shape up to be even better, and we've got some awesome surprises in store that hopefully will pan out. And I don't know. I'm just excited to make this a thing, and I think people are kind of taking notice now. As soon as we announced Helium Prime and Judicator online, everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is this festival?" And I'm like, "Girl,
Yep.
I've been doing this for 2 years. Shit." So, video games at a metal festival. This man's a genius. I know. I've been telling you that for years.
I
That
know.
one, that death ball,
Yeah.
of the games there, that death ball game. I need
See,
that.
and
on
that's-
something.
So we brought in a couple indie cabinets this year and a couple indie pins. And what I mean by that is there's only one copy of this game in existence, and it was made by like one guy. And the one that we had this year we were supposed to have 2 indie cabinets this year. The one that ended up showing up was Death Ball, and Death Ball is so much fun. If you're in the area and you go to the Midwest Gaming Classic, like we all do, go and check out Death Ball. Death Ball is so much fun. The other one that was supposed to come is Cosmotrons, but unfortunately the Geeks Mania people dropped the ball on that, didn't communicate anything. So, if you still have your Mad with Power bag and you got that Geeks Mania $5 off coupon, just toss it out the window and light it on fire and put it on your social media and say, "You betrayed Mad with Power. I'll never shop at your establishment ever again." Or don't, or just go there. I don't care. So,
I went through Super Street Fighter 2 without continuing.
Really?
With Ken, I played the whole thing through and got all the way through and beat Bison without losing a match.
See, this guy's a monster. He can do Mortal Kombat. He can do Street Fighter 2. I don't understand how that. I don't get it.
I had surprising luck getting the Dragon Punch to work with a joystick.
All right.
D-pad, I can do that all day long. Joystick is harder.
Sure. So, that was Mad with Power. We also released 2...
I just like that you disappear and come back with pizza every, 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's a growing boy.
Yeah.
We're hungry.
Yeah.
And he started off by saying, my butthole's gonna hurt.
I missed that comment.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'll say it later.
Okay, good.
It was Wednesday, my dudes.
Good old Brent's catchphrase.
What the fuck? I'm gonna shit myself.
That's Joe. His
Joe.
catchphrase
That's
is
Joe.
"My butthole's
Yeah,
gonna hurt."
Oh, Joe.
So
He has an interesting one.
anyway, stay on target. We released 2 music videos very recently. One was Reaper's Hourglass, which we teased last podcast, but it is officially out now. And I will say to the people who watch the podcast religiously, here's a little extra special nugget of info that we haven't told anybody else yet. We have a drum-only playthrough video, which, if you're on the Patreon, you've probably seen if you're in the behind-the-scenes access one. And that is going to be released on an online drummer blog, probably either Sick Drummer or something else. So
I'm excited to see those comments come flying through.
Yep. Oh man.
They're usually really nice.
Yep. People on the internet usually
in my
just
experience, yeah.
have nothing but great things to say.
his drums. How's he doing?
that?
What's that movie where there's that one kid and he's trying to learn drums and the teacher's really hard on him?
Whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
Me either,
So-
actually.
What?
I know. It's silly. What? I don't know. It's on my list.
my God.
I think it's a little exaggerated, but it's well done and it's pretty thought-provoking.
Any musician out there should see that movie.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
it'll,
definitely on my list of things to do, but yeah, I don't know why.
It speaks to the parallels in between being a really good musician and mental illness, I think.
Yep.
It's like the teacher's very harsh, right? It's like, why did you choose drums?
You could have been a guitarist. Why did you choose drums?
Exactly.
The singer only has to carry around a microphone. You have to break your back every single night. And he throws a chair at you.
I mean, that's not necessarily a false thing that happens in.
No. And lots of people from the prestigious schools out east have confirmed that it's not unlike that.
Right.
But
Well, even from my schools, I've heard stories of my professors having to talk to their students, being like, "I know you want to do this, but are you sure that?"
yeah,
this
in
is
this
the
movie they
instrument
do a
for
little
you?"
more than talking.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Quite a
yeah.
lot more than talking.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm just saying that's a real thing.
You know, that happened in the Japanese department too. There were some people that they actually, the professors sat down and were like, "Hey, I know you're in 5th semester now, but I don't know if this is working out."
Still don't know
Right,
how to
yeah.
call taxi.
Wow.
I mean, are you sure you want to do this for a living?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So some of them that gave them the kick in the butt they needed, and most of them dropped out. Yeah, but anyway, so we released some music videos. Reaper's Hourglass and 0 Hour. 0 Hour is our 360-degree VR compatible music video, which was a lot of fun to film and a lot of fun to edit, and it looks pretty cool, I think. And the cool thing is that you can use your phone. You don't need a VR headset. You can just use your phone and move it around, and you can see, the entirety of it.
Or you can click on the YouTube.
Or you can click and drag.
And click and drag and spin around and look at different stuff.
Yeah.
Like if anyone's ever wondered what like our practice space looks like, we get a chance to.
Yep. So in that video, you get to see our practice space. Mm-hmm. There is footage from
Boss Meadery.
Some kids flossing.
Our acoustic show in the park.
Yep.
Kalamazoo. London, Ontario, and then Oshawa, Ontario.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you get a little bit of across the border flavor. You can smell the poutine if you get the VR add-on that gives the smells too, but you can also smell him. So you get uncomfortably. Somebody was watching it and they're like,
uncomfortably barren.
Somebody was watching it and they're like, man, I felt a little awkward. I got really close to the Baron. I was right there. I know it's all virtual, but I felt like there was like a bubble I was intruding on, and he was gonna look up at me and be like, please move. So
it's my catchphrase.
Yep.
Please move.
Please move. But yeah, check it out if you haven't already. Please share it. We just released it a couple days ago, and people seem to be really digging it. We've got 2 to 3 more music videos coming out. 2 that are completely done, and 1 that is still kind of like a twinkle in my eye, we'll say. So, did your parents ever use that phrase? Like when you were just a twinkle in my eye.
I've heard it.
My parents didn't, but I've heard it. Yeah.
Same.
I've heard that. My parents used that, and I've heard from other people that was like secret parent code from like that's when we were banging.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is the implication. Yes.
Yeah, and it was just like you were just I wish I wouldn't have used that. Well, it's just kind of weird.
You're as cute as a bug's ear. No, you're homely as a mule's butt.
So anyway. This has been strange parental sayings with Ty. Okay, what else? I've got a big big update.
I got a big.
But let's talk about the show we just did like a couple nights ago. Cloven Hoof, Vicious Rumors, Van Lade, and Lords of the Trident on a Sunday night, a hot and sweaty Sunday. Sunday.
It was.
Yeah.
At the Red Zone.
I feel like it was fun. I always like to play at least 45 minutes. I feel like 30 is a little short. Like I'm actually getting curious, guys. Like what all your guys' favorite set times are. Like I think for me it's an hour. Like I feel like hour and a half you start feeling maybe kind of tired, but I feel like hour it's like.
I like playing an hour and a half. I mean, you need to like practice and get the endurance up, but I like the ability to play that many songs. So 30 minutes is definitely very short.
It's too short.
But like I was saying afterwards, we like haven't really done that for a while, and like we haven't had many practices lately, so I was like, I was kind of feeling that after the end of that. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was nice like, right after we played 2-ish hours at Mad with Power to play like a little 30-minute set and like just destroy and leave.
Yeah, just that contrast.
Well, not to mention just the downside of headlining Mad with Power is getting there at 3 or 4 in the afternoon and then not going on till 11.
Yeah.
So that means if I'm there at 3, I'm more or less hanging out there for 8 hours until I hit the stage. That's a long time.
It's tiring, even if you're not doing something active.
And so here we load in, and an hour later we're up, and then we're done. Like I said at the show, I'm starting Death Dealer, and the next thing I know, I'm holding the high note at the end of Metal C, like just like that. A blink later, and then we're off. Then we're shuffling off real quick, and that was over before it even started.
Yeah.
So,
I do agree with Aki that I think half an hour is too short. You have to make you can play like 5 songs basically, 5 maybe 6. You have to make
45 minutes is a significant improvement.
Yeah, I would say that my favorite set length is probably 40 or 45 minutes, and I tend to edge more towards 40 minutes, just because I always like the whole like leave them wanting more approach. Yep. If people are like, "Oh, one more song," you're like, "I can't," but you can buy the CD. Yeah. That is, when people like desperately want another song and you can't give it to them, it's good.
I was gonna say, as an audience member, I've enjoyed sets from like 30 minutes to like an hour. Mm-hmm. I think it really depends on the the content itself. Like, I've seen some of my favorite bands play 30 minutes, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like,
Yep.
that wasn't enough. That blew my mind. Like, and then I buy his pile of merch.
I think it's kind of nice too. Like if they're not, I'm sorry.
As a player, I think I like 45 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, though.
I was just gonna say, like, I think one thing kind of nice when it's a night full bands going like 30, 40 minutes, 45 is that like if there's a band that's not quite to your taste and whatnot, it's not like, well, crap, they're playing an hour and 15. It's just like, oh, this band might not quite be my thing. I'm going to grab a drink or whatnot, and then before you know it, they're done and a new band's going on.
Yep.
I got that feedback about Mad with Power. They liked the set times because, like, it wasn't like any one band went longer than they...
Except for us.
Right.
Except for us, which is... Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep, for Mad with Power, I keep the set times at like a hard 40 minutes. Because I've been in that situation before, and, I'll talk about it in a little bit about Prog Power. Where, like, if there's a band that is going for an hour to an hour and a half to, I'm good, I just had one. It can be, and you're, like, into it, but you're kind of interested to see what the rest of the bands are gonna be like. It can be kind of fatiguing when you're like, okay, I got another hour and a half of this stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh. So. Oh, did we kill it? Yeah.
I just
Killed your notebook.
pad.
Oh God. All right.
Thanks again to Randy for putting the show together and having us aboard.
Yeah.
So, cheers. Thank you.
So yeah, Clovenhoof was fun. Vicious Rumors was fun. Van Lade is always fun.
They have such a good stage show.
Yeah.
What's the drummer's name again?
From Van Lade?
Yeah.
My brain can't work. Somebody asked
His
me a
name
question.
is
you know it.
Mr. Fast.
It's not Nolan, is it?
It is Nolan, right?
Nolan.
Yeah. His
Yeah,
feet.
he can kick like
Jesus
whoa.
Christ.
Yeah.
Joe made a really good comparison. He drums a lot like Gene Hoglan, and not just because of how he looks.
That's
but
a good
like,
comparison.
His technique itself is very Gene Hoglan-y.
Yeah.
And once
Okay.
Joe pointed it out, I was like, "You
Aha.
were correct."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his feet were just like, holy
Yeah.
cripes.
That's a good kind of comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's like you don't want someone to be like, if you're a guitarist, be like, oh, he's like that, he's like that C.C. DeVille and Poison. If someone's like, man, he's like Malmsteen, it's like, there you go.
Right.
No,
on,
that's
CC,
bad in
give
certain
it.
circles too. But
I okay, all right. Well,
But I get
let's
what you're saying,
Right,
yes.
right. Let's say
Right.
Petrucci. Okay.
Ingestein Melmatine.
Oh yeah, he loves them zebra cakes. So hey, we're going on. We have a fun little mini tour planned in January. Speaking of Mad with Power and the people that came there with A Sound of Thunder, we're gonna do a little southern mini tour. We're hitting North Carolina, South Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. And on the way, we're gonna be stopping in either Cincinnati, Ohio, or probably Louisville, Lexington, Kentucky. We're still kind of working out the details there. Somewhere in that little center of the country to play a fun show. But yeah, we're going to have 3 nights with The Sound of Thunder and a bunch of other great bands along the way. Mega Colossus is going to be playing with us again. Paladin in Atlanta, Georgia is going to be playing with us. They're a really fun band. Check them out if you haven't seen them yet. And yeah, we're super excited. We got a fun little surprise planned for the show. So if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, or Atlanta, Georgia, come on out, to the show. Or if you're not, flights are cheap. Just fly on in. Just be like deadheads, follow us around, and we'll bring an extra blow pad for you, probably, maybe. I don't know. There's a Walmart in the area. Let's figure this all out,
We'll work something out.
Budget rent-a-car.
Enterprise.
Yeah. You guys want to say anything?
The
more
official
about
rent-a-car of Lords of the Trident.
I'm excited to go south during the winter.
Yeah,
right.
right.
I feel like January is when it's the most bitter cold.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And
Yeah, go to Myrtle Beach and just...
playing more shows with Sound of Thunders will be awesome.
Yeah. They're super fun. Maybe we'll revisit some opera. Who knows? I don't even know. We haven't planned that far ahead yet. It's still...
We still have the rest of this
September?
year to get
God,
through, yeah.
I don't know,
Still have 3 months of this year to get through yet.
I was so You know, and I'm right on the downslope of this. So I got, you know, there was the Kickstarter and Mad with Power and the CD release party and the 6 music videos, and it just like the stress just built. And then Mad with Power happened, and I'm like, oh, finally I'll be able to get out of this stress. And then right after that, I went to Prog Power. And then right after that, and right before that, my grandma died. And then we had, you know, and so now I'm finally done and I'm kind of coasting down. So it's like I'm coming back to reality. But man, I got to talk about what happened at Prog Power. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but it was a fun time. It was a stressful time. But before I do that, I think I need a little bit of a de-stressor because I'm still got that headspace. So you know what I need, Aki. You know exactly what I need.
You better, you Brett.
Nobody needs
That's what we need.
Nobody needs
Or
that.
that
at
one
all.
where you go like, ooh.
Ooh.
No, I need Aki's cat picture. Ooh, Aki's cat picture of the month. Ooh, Aki's cat picture of the month.
Okay, well, before you post it before you show it on the
Okay.
green screen here for the people, let me paint the picture here.
Okay.
So, how many of you guys have been there where you're in the shower and you're about to get out?
Yeah.
And you go to reach for the towel and you're like, fuck, I didn't put it.
Right.
It's not where you thought it
You got to
was.
get out all sopping wet,
right.
and you got to walk.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the walk of shame that's not in public.
Right.
And
The private walk.
but you wouldn't have to worry about that if you had a shower butler
Oh.
with some nice clean towels.
There it is.
The Pima
Shower
cotton.
butler.
Aki, do you know this cat's name or the background of this cat?
I don't know, but they didn't say his name, but it's a boy cat and he's very voyeuristic.
Oh.
Like many cats,
seen
he
it
likes
all.
watching while you take a bath or shower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's seen everything.
yeah,
You know, Michi does this
yeah.
every time.
I feel lots of cats do. Like a lot of them, you know, those shower curtains have like the two little layers, and the cats would go like in between the plastic.
Michi does that all the time.
So, kind of a funny thing, and I think he appears briefly in our Carbondale video. So Brisket, you know, one of my mom's cats likes water, and she told me she was taking a bath, and he hopped into the bath.
What?
I know.
That's very
Did
crazy.
he
Yeah.
freak out as
Cat-like.
soon as he jumped in it, or
He immediately regretted his decision.
It was probably warmer than he was expecting it to be.
Yeah,
And there was and there was a person in it too.
yeah,
Yep.
but
And soap probably didn't do well with him either.
exactly that's
Yeah.
the big thing. But he said Michi is also likes watching.
Yeah, she will jump up on the counter in the bathroom and she'll just sit there and wait, and she will be relentless about the after shower pets. I think it's something about being like super warm.
Yeah, I think it's the
you know.
warmth. They're curious. They don't know how like different temperature water affects us guys, and
Oh, you're
Okay.
clean. I got to get my smell back all over you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some cats too. They like both licking the water after the tub is empty, and some like the residual warmth. Like some would go into a bathtub, especially the cast iron ones, and just like lay there because they like the warmth.
Yep, Michi does that after pretty much every shower. She licks up the water and just kind of stays in there. It's very weird.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the September
All right,
picture. Of
here's the
one.
cat picture of the month. I feel de-stressed. Oh, I feel better, because now I've seen a cat and I've been thinking about taking a shower, and so maybe I'll do that now, and maybe the cat will help me fetch my towels.
You're a towel.
If I didn't have a towel, though, I'd need some advice from a sage, from a person of knowledge, somebody who would tell me what to do.
Aki's cat picture of the month.
All right, Brett, what should we do? What's you better, Brett? What you better do?
if you don't have a towel,
Yeah. Yeah, this is a themed you better, Brett, where we ask you what you better do if you don't
well,
have a
let's
towel.
see. Hopefully, maybe you have some thirsty dogs that can help. That can help you.
That's kind of gross, though.
Hey, we're just thinking out of the box here. Okay.
Okay.
I would squeegee the water off with like my hands.
I do that. That's like a normal thing for me. It's like when
Yeah,
I'm
me
done, I
too.
just like squeegee myself first.
When did you start doing that? Did you read it on the internet first? And
I
then
didn't. It just started happening.
See, I started doing it after I read it on the internet. I'm like,
Your towel. I know it's
Because
like
I got sick of the towel getting so wet
Yeah.
before I was done with it. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, what if I get most of the water off of
Yeah.
me and then I'll towel myself off?
Are you a multiple shower person?
Like in a day?
Yeah.
Not generally not.
Are you
Okay.
a morning or nighttime shower?
I try to gravitate towards night.
Good man.
Yeah.
Me too.
I used to do morning all the time, but now it's like
What I don't get is those people that shower in the morning. Sorry to interrupt, but like
no.
those people that shower in the morning, and then they like not only they go to work, but they'll like work out or do all this shit and get super sweaty. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to wash your sheets. And you know, us guys, there's an Onion article about this. We've agreed to change our sheets at least once a season.
Yeah, that's
and it's
right.
like, right?
Oh my God.
I don't even do it once a month, and it's just
you don't
like
have enough animals.
it's like
then.
I'm always shower every night because if I don't, I'm gonna get my sheets all sweaty and
Right.
whatnot.
See, yeah, my sheets are always a disaster because of my dogs. But
So would you say that if you have trouble changing your sheets, you better get a pet?
yes.
So something kind of funny.
You Brett.
I'll never forget
There,
this
that was
funny
easy.
instance. Is I was going to like this lake or whatnot with my friend Dan, and this was several years ago, and he forgot to bring a towel.
Mhm.
And my mom's like, "Oh, you can use this towel." And when I saw the towel, I recognized it as the towel that we use to clean our dog. He's a clean doggo, just
Well,
like
yeah,
when we
yeah,
give
yeah.
him a bath. But I said, "Oh, that towel," and Dan's like, Dan was like, "I don't want to ever use a towel that someone says." Oh, that towel.
Yeah. I would agree with you 100%.
I definitely have one of those towels.
Yeah.
Oh, that towel.
Oh, that.
Well, you know what I mean? It's like the towel that like humans we've used a long time, and now it's kind of dead and ratty and has holes, but like so now it can work for the dog.
Yep. Exactly.
Or a friend.
Or a good friend. Yeah.
Showering at night never works for me.
Hair.
Because
you got
because
one,
with my
yeah,
hair,
same.
I can't go to bed with wet hair, or my hair, I might as well have not even bothered washing it the night before, because my hair then is all weird. So nope,
Funky
can't.
and terrible.
Night showering is a no go for me. I don't exactly wake up in the morning either, though, so I don't morning shower. I usually just shower right before whenever it is I have to start for the day, which on my schedule varies from day to day.
I'd say that's generally most of when I shower too, but if I were to choose night or morning, I would choose night.
Yeah,
Mhm.
night
Situation,
is
but-
not compatible with me, and
Yeah.
and the hair.
I'm a morning shower. I feel gross and dirty if I wake up and I can't get a shower in. I just feel like off, That being said, I 100% agree with Aki because
You shower after Taekwondo.
well,
yeah.
people that and during the day, okay, whatever, I could probably go to bed and I'm reasonably still, I'm still reasonably clean. But if you work out, oh man,
I don't get that when they don't. I'm like,
you
are
gotta
you kidding me?
shower if you work out,
Yeah.
because especially like the workouts that I do, like I'm a ball of sweat after that, and there's no way I'm like, it would be like playing a gig and not showering after that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh.
And like only like the dirtiest places we stayed at do we not shower afterwards. So.
There's only been
Is that like a normal thing for you?
there's only been like
Well, gigs get done at night, and I don't shower at night, so
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
2 and 2.
That's why he's got his own set of pillows and blankets, and that's why we've labeled all the beds.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the oh, that bed.
That bed, yeah. Yeah, I like my very like pristine soft sheets that I can like roll around and whatnot.
Exactly.
When we look at home on our bed, we have the mattress, whatever you call it, like the mattress cover. Not the mattress cover, but the sheet that goes over that. And Andrea's side looks normal, and mine is all faded and fucked up looking because. And it's not because it's not because I go to bed
Faded and
sweaty.
fucked up.
But I go to bed and I sweat profusely in my sleep. It's typical that I'll wake up completely drenched.
Wow.
Even in the middle of winter. So the sweat has all the way even gone down to staining my side of the mattress.
You have like night terrors or something?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in a band where I dress up. Oh my god! It's a waking nightmare.
I don't even have anything to say to that.
Yep. It's funny because it's true.
No.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so the big thing that I wanted to cover, Prague Power.
All right.
Oh my
I haven't
god.
heard any of the stories yet.
No more joking for a
I'm
minute.
excited to hear the stories.
So, I'm not gonna go into the full details of the story, for reasons that will become obvious once we shut the cameras off and I tell the full story.
Okay.
If you want to hear it, not preserved in the internet forever, come see me. I'll tell you the whole story.
Well, and backers that pay more than $50 a month.
Exactly.
hear
they get
real
the
story.
special
Yeah.
private,
Stay around for the end of the video.
Yeah, they get the after show, the
you get
special
special
show.
code.
Yeah. So
Maybe there's a little bit of joking now.
I'll tell you all the good things that happened in Prague Power and all the fun moments, and then after we shut the cameras off, I'll tell you the horrid moments. There was an overarching horrid set of moments that happened during Prague Power that made the entire trip really, really shitty and stressful. And it all centered around one specific individual, who I will tell you all about later. But let's focus on the positive vibes while we're here on the podcast. So, the first thing that happened when we landed in Atlanta was we went to the hotel, and the hotel room was not ready because we got in at like 9:30 in the morning. Our friends were there though, and so we went to the pool, and we had just hung out in the pool for a couple hours. As we were coming out of the pool to go up and get changed because our hotel was now ready, we passed right by Ailstorm. Because we were in that, so we strategically picked the hotel where all the bands were staying, right? So we passed right by Ailstorm, and Chris, who's the singer of Ailstorm, and also the keyboardist of Gloryhammer, is very active on Reddit, and I've talked to him a bunch of times, mostly giving him shit because for the last 5 years he's worn Brent's exact fucking costume. You'd think if you were in Chris, if you're watching this, I swear to God. You'd think if you were in Gloryhammer, you could have picked something else except for the Amazon costume department, but no.
I thought I was the only person that bought that off of Amazon.
Nope. Chris also bought
bullshit.
it. And if you watch the first Gloryhammer video, you'll see him in there. And so I saw him, and I immediately recognized him, and I'm like, Chris, hey man, it's Ty, the guy from Reddit who's been giving you shit for years about your costume. I'm in Lords of the Rings. He's like, Ty, you fucking wanker, how you doing? It's good to meet you in person. Hey, what's up, you piece of shit? How you doing? And I was like, man, did you finally fucking get a new costume? Please tell me you did, because like it's been like 5 years. Like, oh yeah. We got the new costume. It's full of beer and puke and all that sort of fun stuff, and and so yeah. Anyway, so we hit it off and.
Did you steal his Lucky Charms?
Yes, absolutely. He has a tiny
from
little man.
Ireland.
Yep, he's Scottish.
Is he?
Scottish.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would steal his Lucky Charms if they were lying out. I would just take them. I think he'd like that. So, so we saw them. I met them day one. Ross the Boss opened, and they were really good. They were really good at Legions when we saw them before, but still really good. And then Gloryhammer played, and I gotta tell you guys, it was the weirdest experience of my entire life watching Gloryhammer, because I swear to God, it was like an out-of-body experience. Like, the guy did almost everything that I did on stage, like, almost, like, his stage moves, too, were, like, almost to the T, and he was wearing almost the exact same armor. And I was sitting, and everybody was like, oh, and I'm like, I don't know how to react. I'm like, it's like I was having fun, but I was also like, it was this weird mix of like, that's me, fuck, god damn it, this is really great, fuck, god damn it, it's like just this cycle of like, it was like, dude, he looks just like you and he sings just like you and they sound just like him. Like, I know. I know. It's so weird. But anyway, they were super fun. I had a wonderful time, I think, watching them. So that was great.
Do they have new music? They haven't put out an album in a while.
They didn't have new music. No. But it was a great show. And we saw a bunch of other bands that night. The headliner that night was this band from Australia called Voyager. And I'd never heard of them before. And apparently they were one of like the sort of quote-unquote house bands at Prague Power. Like they played multiple times and whatever. And you could tell because they were very comfortable on that stage. And they came out and they played for like 2 hours. Oh, wow. And a lot of their set was like fucking with the audience. You know, you could tell that like a lot of their friends were in the audience. They're very like proggy, sort of almost Haken kind of a band. And the guy had a guitar. And he had a surprise guitar solo with Chris from Ailstorm. And about an hour and 15 minutes in, you know, they're playing this like, you know, proggy thing, you know, and all of a sudden everything drops out and the drum's like, and the guy's like, how many people like fucking techno? He's like, it's Sandstorm! The whole place was just like jumping. Oh my god, it was so great. They played Toto's Africa. They were messing with people. It was so fun. So they were great. Other noteworthy bands. Ailstorm was hands down the most fun band of the entire fest. And I'll put this picture up in just a second, but like the curtain open. This place has like an actual curtain that opens between sets, or during sets. And Ailstorm's setup was drum riser, like keyboard riser, 2 risers in the front, giant 6 foot tall inflatable rubber ducky.
Yep.
You know, and this like 90s background of like a cool alligator with shades like relaxing in a Hawaiian print shirt that said Ailstorm. It was amazing, and I gotta pull this picture up.
We need to see a picture.
And they played for an hour and a half, and that was the most fun show of the entire Prague Power. And about 45, maybe about an hour in, the crowd is like, give us the duck! Give us the duck! And Chris is like, I'm not giving you the duck, you fucking wakers! It's our duck! We need to bring it on tour with us! Give us the duck! Give us the... And then finally, and maybe before the last 2 songs, he's like, alright, fuck it, I hate ya! And he threw the duck out into the audience. And here's the picture.
That's a great picture.
Yep.
Did it get destroyed?
Yes.
That looks photoshopped.
I know.
This is so funny. You posted that on Facebook, and when I saw it, I ignored it because I thought you just did you did a
that is an actual. This is an actual, honest to God picture.
You caught a picture as you threw it into the audience.
Off your phone.
And this is not my camera. No, this is like the official Prague Power photographer.
Oh, okay.
You know, and this shot was so iconic. It's so good.
Yeah,
and so iconic.
It looks photoshopped.
Everybody
almost.
changed their pictures to it. Everybody changed their cover photo to it. I mean, it's amazing. It's an incredible
it's a pretty
photo.
good photo.
Yeah.
And so people were hitting around like a beach ball. And then before their last song, he's like, "All right, so we got another duck in the back, and so we're in Atlanta, Georgia, home of The Walking Dead. So what I want you to do is I want you to kill the duck on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Tear it apart! Kill it! And just all of a sudden, it just just deflates. And Chris goes, "Whoa, that was efficient. That I did not realize it was gonna go that fast. Oh, wow. Okay.
You fucking zombies.
Yeah, fucking zombies. Yeah, you know, and and they were super. It was just super
That's
fun.
pretty good.
One of the bands that I saw that is actually probably like music wise my least favorite, but strangely enough we ended up becoming really good friends with was Oceans of Slumber.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah, they're like kind of a doomy, slow kind of like.
Wait, they just played in Madison like a
Yep.
few months ago.
They did.
They were the band with like the best drummer I've ever seen.
Yeah, really good. Like musicianship was good. I just don't. The music is just kind of not my thing.
Female vocals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we were hanging out in the lobby, and we started making small talk with a person who had a guitar case. Turns out it was our bassist, and we just kind of hit it off. And so his name's Matt, and so like the whole rest of the fest, they stuck around and just hung out, and we talked for hours. I mean, we were just like, you know, we really hit it off. So, yeah, Oceans of Slumber, they're fun. I mean, the guys are fun. It might not be my type of music, but man, they're neat people.
They're opening for Insomnia. That's where I saw them.
They are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that happened. The band that blew me away the most, that I was not expecting to blow me away, was Manimal. Manimal. I've seen one Manimal music video ever, and it was sort of like, you know. And so they were opening one of the days. I'm like, I'll go check them out, you know, see what they're all about. Holy shit, that guy can sing like a son of a bitch. Like, oh my god, he was so good. He was hands down my favorite singer of the whole fest, the entire fest. That guy was incredible. I was like gobsmacked. It came out, I was like, I'll just check out one song. And I was like, you know, and we watched the whole set. And afterwards, they were so cool. Like afterwards, they like came right off the stage and went immediately out into like the main area and just started talking to people. You know, which is one of the cool things about Prog Power. Like all the famous people.
They have corpse paint on.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's the guy.
All right.
But really nice guys. You know, they're from Sweden, so they kind of, you know, talk. Thank you for coming to our set. I like about, you know. But they're really cool. Really, really great band.
Did you see Persephone?
Yep.
How were they?
Pretty good. Not quite my bag. You know, it's tough because like any of these bands in like a lineup of like decent local bands and then that band would just blow the house down. But since there's so many amazing bands in such short succession, you become like kind of snobby about it. You know, you're like, well, they were not quite as proggy as Voyager. I liked Voyager's prog better. No Toto references in this band.
Sure, I hear you.
You know, so they were really, really good. The band that got a really rough time was Tarja from Nightwish. She headlined the final night. She played right after Ailstorm, and so it was like fun, super awesome pirate power metal fun time. Like kill a duck, dance party, drink as much as you possibly can, and then it was, you know, and everybody was kind of like, I'm gonna go to the after party and go home. Yeah. She was really good. I like her vocals a lot, but it was kind of it was like the wrong energy, you know. So, lots of really fun. Okay, the last story I'll tell, because you know, without going into everything else. So Michelle, who a lot of you know, our person who comes with us and does merch all the time, and a lot of you know Michelle. One of the things that we've done, not only at Prog Power but at all the metal fests, is we play a game called Sexless, right? Which is, you know, who would you have sex with first to last in this band? And it's not necessarily just on physical appearance. It can be on stage presence. It can be on, you know, prowess with the instrument. It could be a combination of all sorts of stuff. Michelle likes to say, you know, if she's having a tough time, she's like, who would help me change a flat tire better? You know, and that's how she chooses her sex list. And so it's this big kind of fun game where you say your list and then you have to like specify why, you know, and it's, you know, obviously it's we're just having fun, so we're not taking any of this seriously, but we really like to go into the minutia of like exactly why we chose who we chose, because it's funny, you know, like, well, he, you know, reminds me of blah 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 blah. So we saw Angra with Fabio Leone singing, and for those of you who don't know, Fabio Leone is like the power metal singer. He's like he was in Rhapsody of Fire, aka Rhapsody, you know, Emerald Sword. I mean, the guy is like straight up an opera singer that got pulled into a metal band, basically. I mean, and this guy is like known as one of the voices of metal. You know, this guy's like super duper duper famous. So we see Angra. We're walking back to the hotel. It's like 3 a.m, and we're loudly discussing our sex lists. And the hotel, and this is, remember, the hotel where all the people are staying, it has a little like kind of a walkway, a stairway, kind of go up into, you know, this kind of enclosed courtyard area, and then you can go into the hotel. So we're walking back, and Michelle's telling me her sex list for Angra, and I'm like, okay, here's mine, blah blah. And the third guy out of 5 was Fabio. She's like, really? I thought you would have chosen Fabio first. And I'm like, Michelle, let's be clear here. Fabio is an amazing singer. Okay. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. So, Fabio is an amazing singer, but like, look, Michelle, he is Italian. Okay, he's gonna be impossible to please sexually. You're gonna show up to his apartment, and he's gonna greet you. He's gonna be like sitting on a bearskin rug in like a velvet robe, white, and he's going to be like, "Hello, nice to meet you. Please come sit down and take off all your pants." Like you would never. And let's let me be clear. Fabio has always, Fabio has won all the time. Like he's famous. He's like super famous. And Michelle's like, you think he does? You think he'd do like the tongue butt stuff? And I'm like, yes, Michelle. Like he would clearly, that would be his warm up, Michelle. That wouldn't be a special thing. He's like, that's another thing. Like I couldn't surprise Fabio with anything, right? He just already know it. He'd be like, yes, I did that back in 82, blah blah blah, blah, like, and I was loudly talking about, Fabio's tongue butt stuff, like talking to Michelle like this, I was like blah 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 blah, and I was walking up the stairs, and I get to the top of the stairs and go, boom. Who do I run into? Fabio Leone. Loud, and I'm like, hi, and he's outside smoking. He's smoking a cigarette. The voice of power metal is like a smoker. I'm just like, oh my god, somebody coughs in a 40-mile radius of me, and I lose my voice. But this guy can like smoke like a freaking chimney, and But anyway, so he didn't. I don't think he heard any of our loud talking about how he's impossible to please sexually.
TJHFB.
Yeah.
But I bet he watches his video cast.
Oh yeah, right. Fabio, we're tight. So I got a picture with him, which is really cool, and that was the end of the night. I met a lot of great people. A lot of
smile, say butt stuff.
Say butt stuff. Yeah. So I met a lot of really cool people. There were 2 or 3 more shirts, Lords of the Trident shirts, at Prague Power this year than the last time I went. So that's a win. And I don't know. It was cool seeing people, and other than the incredibly stressful event, which shall remain relatively nameless on this podcast, that kind of ruined the trip completely for me. It was a really fun trip. Other than that, if you subtract that from the equation, it was really fun. And that was Prague Power, and Aki's fallen asleep.
Sorry.
That's okay. Aki's been up for...
I'm really trying not to...
Aki's been up for 32 hours straight right now.
But probably 36? Because I've been up since 6 a.m. yesterday.
Aki, is anybody turning into like a hamburger or a giant slice of pizza right now?
No. Your story wasn't boring, by the way. I heard
no, that's okay.
I'm tired.
Yeah. So what?
Maybe time to wrap it up.
All right.
or we can just zoom in on Aki's sleeping face.
No.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna
It's usually my job when we're on the road, because he inevitably falls asleep in the van. I'm all like,
So hey, I want to thank our sponsors: Boss Meadery, Rocker Vodka, Wheelhouse Whiskey, SKB Cases, baby.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep.
And you, the wonderful people on our Patreon, patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. You clearly are the best people out there. You took the meth pipe out of your mouth years ago, and you've been supporting us ever since.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for being awesome. We've got some new stuff coming down the pipe on the Patreon very soon. And now that Mad with Power is over, we're going to be a little bit more regular about releasing our acoustic covers. We're not going to be all over the map like they were for the last couple months. And we got some really fun secretive stuff that I have planned right now that is going to be hitting Patreon.
Always
for
scheming,
all you guys.
never
I'm
stopping.
And Ty, what's the date of the Green Death show?
The Green Death show is on October 20th.
It's gonna be very fun. Michelle is coming too.
Yep.
Right.
So make sure you look up Green Death, October 20th, Corn Maze, Corn Fest 28. No, it's not the Corn Fest. It's their Hollow
We're playing
Mass.
the Blue Corn stage, right? That's
Right.
the largest one.
That's the largest one. It's their CD release party. They're releasing a brand new CD. Check them out online. greendeath.corn. Yeah.
It's in Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Yeah.
Des Moines.
Iowa.
Ow.
Yep.
We can
So-
go hang out with Slipknot.
Yeah.
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 Iowa.
Maybe Corey Taylor can tell us his opinion on all of the things that we don't want to know about.
So should we now have like a blank screen that's like enter password for that only people who donate $50 or more get? Now they get to hear the story.
Tell you what,
Okay.
if you come up to us at a show or in person and you say the secret code word, Ziggy sent me,
Oh.
we'll tell you about our secret weed strain name that we've been scheming on for
Yes.
years. A,
One hand
That's our
washes
business
the other.
model, though.
right, and B, I'll tell you the entire Prague Power story. But until then, Aki, you've got the last word.
Oh. No, I'm not going to say that catchphrase.
You can say Brent's or Brett's catchphrase.
Or Joe's.
Or Joe's. Yeah, or your own catchphrase.
Oh no.
Do it.
No.
You can do it.
Oh. Single.
Yes!
Good night!